Alternative media outlet Bulatlat insists they are a legitimate news group. The online news site is now looking to challenge the NTC order, blocking access to several websites with alleged links to terror groups. Prices of chicken eggs have also gone up, along with the cost of feeds. Poultry raisers are sounding the alarm on tighter supply in the coming months. The Philippines has terminated talks with China on joint oil and gas exploration in the West Philippine Sea. And homegrown basketball talent Kai Sotto faces a setback after being undrafted in today's NBA draft. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Alternative news site Bulatlat has denied links to communist groups after access to its website was blocked by the National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC. Bulatlat's legal counsel, Josa de Inla, told Sa Totoo Lang that Bulatlat is a legitimate news group whose reportage centers on the plight of marginalized sectors. The NTC recently ordered internet service providers to block access to the websites of several groups with alleged affiliations to leftist groups. De Inla says they will challenge the NTC order before the Supreme Court.
They're not. Okay, they are an alternative news organization that has been existent for decades now. If you look at their content, these are all legitimate. Wala kayong makikita talagang kahit anong illegal. There is no solicitation whatsoever for funds for any so-called terrorist organization.
And one former Supreme Court justice is backing the government's move to terminate negotiations with China on oil and gas explorations in the West Philippine Sea. Maricel Halili with the report.
The Philippines has terminated its talks with China for a joint oil and gas exploration in the West Philippine Sea. Foreign Affairs Chief Chodoro Locsin Jr. said it has been on the table for 3 years, but they have not achieved anything. He also insisted that the government will not allow it to push through at the expense of our sovereignty.
One step forward from where we stood on the edge of the abyss is a drop into constitutional crisis. That explains the sudden pullback on my part.
Former Associate Justice Antonio Carpio said the government made the right decision because when the two parties were about to sign the third and last agreement, Beijing wanted to delete some provisions.
China said, we will not agree to enter into the third agreement unless you change that provision. Delete the provision which says the oil and gas belongs to the Philippines. Delete also the provision that Philippine law will govern.
However, he still gave the Duterte administration a failing mark in the issue of the disputed territory. Carpio said Duterte should have not allowed Chinese vessels to fish in the country's exclusive economic zone.
Chinese just scared us because Duterte allowed himself to be bullied by China. That's why we're back to square one. We should follow what Malaysia did and what Indonesia did.
Moving forward, Carpio encouraged the incoming administration to submit to the arbitration. It means that ASEAN countries like the Philippines must identify the boundaries of their own territories. The government must also encourage other nations to sign in order to recognize the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The market price of eggs have also increased, making street food more expensive. Shaila Francisco with the details.
Prices of chicken eggs have gone up by a peso per piece at Mega Q-Mart in Quezon City. It now ranges from 6 to 9 pesos, from 5 to 8 pesos just a month ago. This is why instead of buying a tray of eggs, Jeric settles with just 6 pieces.
Kasi wala na pong bili, wala na pong budget. Tansya na yung pera kung paano magkakasya.
The Philippine Egg Board attributed a price increase to raisers reducing production amid high costs of feed and petroleum products. The group warns that the tightness in supply may persist in the coming months.
Ma-aggravate yan, mas kukunti palagi ang production natin by next year, beginning of next year. Kasi mababawasan pa kasi nga walang mga dumadating na mga bagong breeder.
But it's not just chicken eggs. A tray of either quail eggs or balot is now 30 pesos higher. Because of this, some vendors have opted not to sell them at all.
Hindi na namin kayang ibenta ng 185 eh. Mahal na masyado.
So don't be surprised if your favorite street food has also gotten more expensive. Balut vendors now sell their products at up to 25 pesos from 20 pesos before. From 6 to 7 pieces of kwek-kwek for 20 pesos before, you can now only get at least 5 pieces for the same price. The Bureau of Animal Industry said there are only 7 cases of bird flu in the country, but the Bureau appeals to raisers to report suspected cases immediately.
Pagpatuloy po kumalat dahil dun sa kagustuhan lamang natin na maisipan yung natitirang stock natin ay mas mahihirapan po tayo makabalik.
Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
Support for Kai Sotto poured in after the Filipino baller failed to get picked in today's 2022 NBA draft. In an interview, Jeremy Lin told Kai to keep on believing in himself and to stay focused on improving his game. Lin himself went undrafted in 2010 before landing starting roles in various NBA teams. People's champ Senator Manny Pacquiao also encouraged the 7'3" big man to keep moving forward. As for short-term plans, Kai's management clarified that he remains open to anything, including playing in the NBA Summer League. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The COVID-19 positivity rate in at least 6 provinces has breached the 5% threshold set by the World Health Organization. The Octa Research Group reports that Batangas, Rizal, and Laguna are among the provinces with the highest COVID-19 positivity rate. Here in Metro Manila, the positivity rate has likewise gone up from 3.9% to 5.6% in less than 1 week. And the Foreign Correspondents Association of the Philippines, or FOCAP, has expressed grave concern over the order to block news websites with alleged links to terror groups. FOCAP said that restricting access to news websites on the basis of alleged affiliation to left-wing groups violates the right to freedom of expression. And 44% of adult Filipinos are optimistic that their quality of life will improve in the next 12 months, according to the latest SWS survey. Meanwhile, 39% see things remaining unchanged, while 4% believe that their quality of life will get worse. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.